Hi there, fancy friends, it's Oliver, and today it's all about yoga. And I know what you're thinking, yoga, really, but stay tuned. And yes, if you want to do a yoga video, you have to sit in a lotus or something like this. I'm not very flexible, and I wasn't since I remember, but it gets worse with aging up and working on a desk. Because we all know, trained to sit 8 hours a day in front of a computer is not the training your body needs. Yeah, but my lower back pain get worse and I had to change something. Did I change something? Did I do something? Yes. Of course, because I had to if I want to go back to normal. And then I saw my parents playing with my daughter on the floor, and if I wanted to play with her toddler, I had to change something. One of my fencing students does gravity yoga. And yoga is a term everyone uses and everyone has a different image of it in mind. For example, during the first long lockdown, I started a bit of Persian yoga, which is no yoga in the first place, but if you do it quite a while, you will start to imagine why he chooses this name for his style. Gravity yoga isn't that holistic yoga orthodox one would have in mind, but it is a really good stretching routine for someone like me. So I want to give it a try. I've changed my fitness routine in January, so I thought it would easy to add a little bit stretching at the end. A little bit stretching. And so I started in February and I recorded my first steps on video, and I have to say it looks even more horrible than it feels. The program itself is easy. You have to stretch 50 to 20 minutes a day on 5 days a week, and it's only 2 to 3 poses a day, but you're lying there around about 5 minutes on each pose. And that's why it's called deep stretching. Around about 6 or 7 years I started my Sabbat journey, and as you know, I wasn't very flexible, so I had to stretch my legs in different positions, and I was sitting in the stretches for some minutes, as I would do in the following weeks. So this concept, or I'm familiar with this concept. Surprisingly, my sport-specific flexibility is quite good, but my overall flexibility isn't. Yeah, and now I have to stretch every day a different part of my body. So let's see what happened. The program is designed by Luke Rockwood and his Yogabody, and I have to say I don't know him, and I didn't Google him anyway before I started, because I just trust the experience of my student. And yeah, maybe we will come back to that topic later. And yeah, when I said later, this is a kind of a before video, so you will get an after. Okay, but what is after? you should see improvement after 30 days, then after 90 days, and the next step would be around a full year of stretching. And this sounds very honest or reasonable. Sounds better to me than full split in 7 days or something like this. But to be honest to myself, I don't get any younger from now on, and I'm willing to change something. So this don't have to be a 30 days challenge. And I hope that 1 year of practice integrated in my everyday living, that it starts to get normal. Yeah, so I will tell you about 30 days, 90 days, and the whole year, and let's see what happens.
And now let's have a look at the exercises I have done. I record all my first tries in the first week I have done, and I'm very curious if I can see the progress after 30 days or just feel it. I think there will be progress. Yeah. First day is leg day. It's different kinds of hamstring stretches while standing or lying on the floor. Second day is all about the hips, and this pose you see wasn't that hard for me on the hips, but I could not sink into because I was focusing on my arm level. I have to try out next time leaning on the sofa to focus more on the hips. Second pose was even harder. You see in that butterfly I use a pillow because without the pillow I could not touch the ground in front of me. And you even see that my hips are not very involved because of my lower back. This is what I like on the program. You don't have to do the poses 100%, but you could modify it or just make it work for you. So as you could see here, this pose was very, very hard. That's why I go on my knees, and so I bring the 5 minutes to an end. On this day I felt stretches in my shoulder where I never had thought that there could be a stretch. Last pose was more relaxing, so you have to just let the shoulders and the head fall, but it was a little bit tricky to find the right point and not just stretch my hamstrings. Fourth day is for the back, and my back is my battlefield since I remember. So the first exercise I had to sit between my feet, and you see this is not possible, so I sat down on some books, and if this works you can also lean backwards, but I don't see this in the next 30 days, I think. Ironically, for this exercise you should lay on a stool or a chair, and I have to lower it down drastically because I can't let hang out my shoulders and my hips and my legs without dying. The last position for the back is one you definitely know, and I could tell you I can remember times where I was able to grab my hand behind my back, but these are gone. the focus on the last day are joints. Here it's about the wrist, but it's a burning sensation of the forearm. And you see here a modified position too. Nothing new for the hips, but if you do it correctly and hold it for the full 5 minutes, I personally felt a very strange stretch which goes over the hip to the outside of the upper leg. Let's see how this will continue. And the last position is a very strange one, where you have to fold your hands in the back and sit on your heels while sitting on your toes. That's all for now. If you have done something similar, please write me in the comments below, and you will hear from me in about 30 days. So, see you then.